Hey everybody, I'm here. Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm feeling a little frazzled, a little stressed. I always get really stressed when I have technical difficulties, so if you're just joining me now, I made it. I'm pretty sure I'm on the right page. Please jump on and let me know where you're coming from and all that jazz. Oops. Oh my goodness, I made it. I'm here. Sorry, I'm so sorry I'm late, guys. When I was just trying something technical today and it was all set up to work, and then all of a sudden I hit and the go live button was not available. It said to me, no, you need to try a new version of, beta version of Chrome, or try Firefox, try a different browser. I'm like, no, I don't need that right now. So anyway, sorry, it took me several minutes actually to get that happening. Yes, I'm here, guys. We are here. It's Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff. I love restoring and upcycling furniture, and today I'm going to show you another fun stencil. Yes, thank you for jumping on and saying hello. I can see you all there in the comments on my laptop. I was really hoping for some fun stuff today. We had a little down camera going and everything, but never mind. Next time we'll get it happening and find the right browser to work with. From South Dakota, Georgia, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, we're all over the states, Iowa, anyone from Canada, anyone from Australia, New Zealand, would love to say hello if you're there joining me. Jump on. We're going to get started with a beautiful stencil set from the Stencil of the Month Club. If you are in the Stencil of the Month Club, why don't you, I don't know, we could put a high five or something in the comments, or some kind of emoji to woohoo, balloons, something. I don't know. Just let me know you're in the Stencil of the Month Club. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about that today, because I think we've got like 7 days left that you can get this May design. Put your orders in for the Stencil of the Month Club. And this design for May was done by the beautiful Sarah Brackenridge, one of our ambassadors, and she's made this gorgeous sign. Now, if you stencil design, sorry, it comes in a set of 3, and I'm going to show you that today. But if you haven't already seen it, yep, someone sent a high five. They're in the Stencil of the Month Club. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sharing it. Actually, I'm going to just share this for a moment. While you're waiting, you might want to do the same. I'm going to share it to the Stencil of the Month Club groups, so all the guys over there can see that we are live and showing this May stencil. Oops. So how are you guys today? Stencil of the Month Club. Just sprinkling the love here, guys. And there's a little share button there. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to share it with my I Restore Stuff page. So if you're new and you've never seen me do a live here before on Essential Stencils, I'm from the blog, and the Facebook page, you can find me over there, is called I Restore Stuff. So, hi guys, hi Grace, hi Amanda, my fellow ambassadors. We've had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm off to a slow start this morning, but we're getting into it, talking about the Stencil of the Month Club. So guys, hopefully I've got in the links in the description of the live, I have where you can join the Stencil of the Month Club and all the fun benefits there are. There's like a 1-month subscription, 3 months and 6 months. Now the 6-month subscription is really your best value, because guys, you get this amazing tote bag. Is that cool or what? Now this is especially designed from Essential Stencil to fit all of your stencils in it, because it fits the nice large stencils in. So we've got that size there, and look how deep it is. I'm going to have to open this up to see. There's a little clip at the top, really durable. And then we can open up the base of it. Look how wide that is on the sides. Guys, you're going to fit millions of stencils in there. That's at least a couple of years worth of stencils if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club. So that's if you join the 6-month subscription. Is that cool or what? And then the front pocket fits your smaller little, these ones, your tag stencils, and all of the mini stencils will fit right in that pocket there. They slip right down inside. So that is amazing value. If you've just joined the Stencil of the Month Club, I believe that will be, yeah, someone said, can't wait to get mine in June. Yes. So today I'm going to be demoing for you the May Stencil of the Month Club. And as I said before, done by the lovely Sarah. And I put up a little poll, did you catch that, on my I Restore Stuff page, and also Essential Stencil shared it here. So which one did you guys vote for that I do today? The bucket or the bottle? I don't know. I was counting over on my page. I had lots of comments over there, and I believe bottle won out over there just by, I don't know, about 6 to 10 points. So I'll probably be doing the bottle unless I hear from people who are really screaming loudly to do the bucket. But and someone did say, do both. So I don't know if I'll get time to do both today, guys, but yeah, there is a lot of people still want, yeah, it was pretty even for a while there. I'd get comments like bucket, bucket, bottle, bottle, bucket, bottle. So we're doing the bottle today. So I can't wait to use that. I have not used this stencil before. And let me just show you what I'm actually working on. So remember, you've only got like about 7 days before, then you will, that's the cutoff day for getting the May stencil with this gorgeous bucket and bottle. And let me show you the other pieces that come in the set. So there's that, of course. Then you have this gorgeous cotton stems, and I think that's lavender. Isn't that beautiful? Little tiny fluffy cotton balls there. And then, so remember, most of the Stencil of the Month Club sets come in threes and they all coordinate with each other. And there we have some boxwood. So I was thinking you could even use this for the wreath design and make a whole boxwood wreath out of that. They look a little like eucalyptus leaves there. So yeah, gorgeous. And then of course, if you join the Stencil of the Month Club, when you go through the ordering process to order your stencils or to join, they will ask you if you'd like to add the add-on for that month. And the add-on this month is the Family Gather Home wreath. Sorry, it's back to front. That says family. So you can also, and that wreath is fairly simple and straightforward, but you can also add, as in the example they've given on the back here, you can add the little cotton balls or the little bits of lavender or boxwood around the wreath. So I thought, how cool would that be if you had that wreath as a base and then just added your boxwood around, and you could make a whole boxwood wreath, layering it all around with greenery, that kind of thing. So there you go. That's the May Stencil of the Month we're going to be working on. Now today, I actually am working on a recycled picture frame that I bought in an op shop. We call them here in Australia. You call them charity stores, thrift stores. I guess op stands for opportunity in Australia. We have the op shops, the salvos, we call them, Salvation Army stores, Lifeline, St. Vinny's, we call Vinny's, or St. Vincent de Paul. So we have a whole bunch of op shops, and I got this just for a couple of bucks, and it had a picture of another, just a leaf or something on here. So I've just gone over, I taped my edges because I did like this frame. See, it's got kind of some depth to it. It's a little bit of a 3D frame. I thought it'd be perfect for some kind of a farmhousey style stencil. So that's what I'm going to do on this one today. And I just simply painted it in white acrylic paint over the top of it. Had to do a few coats to really cover and make sure you couldn't see that design underneath. But now I've got a beautiful base and surface to work on. So there you go. It looks like a whiteboard, doesn't it, a little bit? So yeah, thank you guys. I'm just skimming through. You've got so many comments flying through in here today. Hi guys. Yes, Alyssa says, I signed up last week for the Stencil of the Month and can't wait to get my May stencils. Good on you, Alyssa. Who else? Thank you, Diane, for sprinkling. Christy says, love the May set. Love the brushes. Yeah, the brushes I think are still available in stock there. Guys, remember I've got my link up there too if you want anything from the Essential Stencil regular stencil page. And I saw some sweet summer stencils there you can pre-order. You can get 10% off using my code, I Restore Stuff. So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Join the club too. I forgot to mention that. Big one. if you join the club, the Stencil of the Month Club at stencilofthemonthclub.com, and Essential has pinned that to the top of the posts there on the comments, you will save $5 on your first month with my code iRestoreStuff. So there's that. Just received the wooden frames. Speaking of the wooden frames, yes, I've got a set here and I can't wait to use them again. The wooden tags they are. So you'll find those in the essentialstencil.com shop, and they're pine wooden tags, really thick too. They're quite good quality. There's 3 in a pack and you can get 10% off there using my code for those. Alrighty, getting started on this, and I'm just going to zoom this down here. Once again, I was a little frazzled starting this morning, starting a bit late because, and I'm fighting with the sun here. If you only could see, I've got this whole door blocking off the sun. I might just shift the, it's like a door that's I've leaning against. Is that better? There we go. We've got blocking the sun. If you remember last week, I was chasing the sun across my workshop room because it streams in here, which is a lovely day. So here's my, now I'm going to do it up the right way. So I'll remember there's a little hook for a picture hook on the back here. Guys, remember if you're using a frame to put it up the right way. I'm going to do it so it's facing you. So let me get this right. And I'm going to do the bottle. Now I would put it here because that seems nice and flat, but I want to make the most of the room that I have here on the top of this board. So I will just try and move that down slightly and really hold. It's kind of tricky when you've got stencils that do come off the end of these really rather 3D frames, but I really want to try and get that down as low as I can so I can have some room for, I don't know, lavender or cotton stems up the top, whatever we're going to put up there. Okay, so for the bucket stencil, you can see there's a lot of space right here, which we would fill all that with, say, grey or silvery kind of colour for a galvanised bucket or something like that. But with the bottle, the stencil's been made so that we're seeing some gorgeous stencil cutouts of, what do you call it, reflections, little glass reflections over here, and then you've got some reflections just on the neck here. The rest of it is all filled in for you. So that is going to actually look white because I've got a white base here, which is perfect. So it's almost like you've got a see-through bottle. So I'm going to, what I might do first is just tape off some areas because I'm going to do the beads a different colour and the tassels a different colour than I am the neck of the bottle. And I'm just checking that my computer says we've kind of frozen here, so I'm just making sure you can all still see. Maybe it just might be my internet here. I'm just going to switch my internet over on my laptop so I can actually see you guys. Because I'm not seeing comments on my phone here, but I'm seeing them on the laptop. Okay, are we back? Yes. So it must have just been on my end, the internet's slow. My husband's on a video call as well at the same time, so tricky trying to juggle all the things. All right, so I'm kind of centering the bottle here. Maybe it needs to go over just slightly over here. And I want to just tape the tassels so that when I come to do the edge of the bottle, it's not going to be caught up there. I don't want to put the sticky down too heavy. What I do sometimes is I just put that tape on my skin or on some fabric so that it's a bit less sticky so it doesn't rip the stencils or the paint. It is painter's tape though, so it's not too bad. Okay, the other place that I want to stencil is just on the top where the beads are here and here so that I don't go over that. You could also, the other thing that I've seen some of them do is just use like a piece of paper to stencil over around there and just block that off so that you're not getting those areas. Okay, which I maybe could do that. Let's see. I might just do the blocking thing with a piece of paper, my offloading paper or cardboard. Here we go. So we always have a little piece of cardboard or paper there to just offload your stencil because we want less on the brush. and I'll use this for that. Okay, so I've got it in around about the right place. I will use this tape just a tiny bit. Oops, skimming past. If you've got questions, do post them. If I don't get to them now, I'll try and have a look afterwards. Got it in the right place. It's lined up. I'm going to be poking that right down there. But over here, I might just pop this tape and a little bit over on this side so that it doesn't move around while I've got it there. Okay, so what I might do is use a grey colour for this purpose, and I'm going to just use a little bit on the lid of my, I'm just using a grey acrylic paint, and I'm going to use my Klingon brush. I'm just using a round brush, and it's one of my furniture brushes, and I like to place a rubber band around the bristles just to tighten them to create this round brush into a stencil brush. So what I need to do first is offload my paint. See that? That's the colour grey there that I'm using. It's kind of a really dark charcoal grey. I've offloaded that from my brush, and then I'm going to go over here, making sure that I try not to get onto those beads, the bead area. And usually I'll do a little swirly kind of motion. I'm just kind of going a little bit, sort of like a little brush stroke downwards like that, in line with the lines, because they're kind of thin lines. So instead of swirling, just thought I'd do it this way for a little bit. All right, and I'm going to block that over there, those beads, because I want to do those a different colour. There we go, that's better. I do like that blocking idea. All right, there looks like there's another little spot that I missed right in there. Yep, okay. And then blocking this way. Oops, sorry guys, I'm missing your comments. Angela says I really need to practice some stencils. Yeah, Angela, a great idea for practicing is to just use an old piece of cardboard or some butcher's paper, like the paper that I'm using here, or craft paper. There I go, a little swirl here and there. Now is where I need to be holding this down, but I'll just do on this side first so I can block this, block the beads off here. And just blocking this little bit. I don't think I'll get that, but yeah, you never know. If in doubt, just block it out. There we go, there's a saying for you. Oh, hi Joe. Joe's from Australia. Joe, I can see your comment. Hi Sharon, finally got to join you for a Facebook Live. That's amazing. Love you, girl. She's been to one of my hands-on workshops right here in my house. So welcome Joe to a Stencil Live. And I know she has some essential stencils too that she loves using on her signs. We have some sign makers out there. Loving these stencils. All right, just missing those tassels there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just some little squiggles, and I've taped off the tassels so that I don't get those. Now I'm just going to push this one right down because that's the end of the bottle and it's right there in the corner. So, and notice guys, I have not even loaded any more paint on my brush. I'm kind of pushing it now because I'm trying to get the most out of what paint I do have on the brush without reapplying it, but I seem to be still having lots there, so we'll keep going. So that's just with one little load of this dark grey colour, and the bottle is finished. It is tricky with the frame, Jarita. Yeah. Okay, so that's popped up away because the frame is there, but see how I had to push this right down, hold it into place while I'm stenciling that bottle there. So hopefully I've done it all right, and we need to place it back on. So this is, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, and I think that I may have just gone a little bit over into where the beads actually go around the neck of the bottle, so they kind of come around. So I might have just accidentally done that, but when we do the beads, I'll just go over that little bit right there. It's all good. What does Bob Ross say? There's no such thing as a mistake. They're just, well, happy little accidents or something, he says. So it was just a happy little accident. And we'll just take our tape off here now, and we're going to put the tape on the other side where we need to be applying it. Oh, Rose says she's glad she just logged on and didn't miss the bottle. Yep, I'm doing the bottle. So, sorry, I'll have to do the bucket another time, guys. Okay, so what I want to do next is the tassels. So I'm going to put my tape on the grey where I've just done. And actually, if you do have a wet cloth, now's the time where you want to wipe your stencil. I'm trying to be a bit more diligent about keeping my stencils a little bit cleaner. Just be super careful when you do clean them though, because there are a lot of tiny little pieces and bridges, what we call bridges, that are very fragile, even though these are just really good quality stencils. But when those little bridges get pulled and pushed around, so you don't want to be messing with them, and especially in these tassels here. Can you see the little tiny things here that can sometimes flick up when you're stenciling? So I'm just going to do a quick wipe down. If I don't get it all, I'm not going to stress. Just mainly going over the sides and the edges. But it does help to do it straight away, especially because I like to use my furniture paint for painting stencils and signs, and it's acrylic-based, water-based paint, but it's called Fusion, and it really does stick well to surfaces. Oh, good, guys, I'm sorry, yeah, I was a bit late this morning starting, so for those of you just joining, you haven't missed much. So, okay. So just cleaning that up a little bit. We'll try a little bit better to clean it up later. Don't forget to clean also and wipe down the back of your stencils. Whoops, being really gentle. And I do have a cloth that I can kind of wipe that as well. All right, back to it. There's our bottle. So I've done the glass part. I just love this design. Sarah's done an amazing job. It is so cool. Okay, so popping that back down on, and just got to line up the bottle exactly where it was, so that, and I probably could have left it on there, but I just wanted to show you how it worked out. And what I was doing was just putting a bit of tape over where the tassel meets the bottle, so that I don't get that, because that's very close right there. And again, right here on this side. And another little piece that I can see right there is close. Okay, so we've got the tassels and the beads. I think I'll do the beads a different colour than the tassels. So to do that, I'll just use my covering up method here again. Let me see if I can get you a little bit down, a little bit further so we can see that. Oops. Lining it up again. Once I get it lined up, I'll put my painter's tape down on either side. These two pieces here. What's the backing inside the frame? Michelle's asking. Michelle, that is actually a picture frame that I just bought from a thrift store, and I painted it in white acrylic-based paint just for a nice little background. So I've done my grey, and now I'm going to go with, and I will use a different brush. And I'm going to use what colour was I thinking? I do like the damask pinkish colour for the beads. I think I'm going to do that. It's like a kind of a ballerina pink, a musky kind of pink. Okay, if you have missed my brush tip, this is just a furniture painting brush that is a round one, but I add a rubber band to the end. so it can make the bristles a little stiffer and all ready for stenciling. So those are going to be great little stencil brush for the beads. So many comments here, guys, trying to keep up. I'll check them every now and then so we can see. Yeah, if you've just joined, we're actually doing the May Stencil of the Month Club stencil. Sorry, I'll just dip a little bit of paint on my brush, wipe it off on the edge here. So I've just got a tiny bit on there and I'm going to wipe that off. I offload on my piece of paper. That's the colour I'm using, that damask. It's a musky colour. Offloaded the brush, so there's hardly anything on the end of it. You can hardly see that there. And I'm going to be doing the beads. Now I will start down near the tassels so that I can just cover where I don't want the... So I'm just covering over the tassel so I just get the bead on the bottom one and over here. So this is the May Stencil of the Month Club. If you join the Stencil of the Month Club this week, and I think you've got 7 days left, you will get this design. And there are a few different options. If you get the 6-month Stencil of the Month Club, you'll get a giant tote bag that I showed at the beginning of this live. You'll have to go check that out on the replay. It's amazing. Fits all your stencils in it. I might show it again at the end. Don't forget, we're also giving away some essential stencil prizes at the end. I'm going to have the hard, difficult job of picking 3 lucky winners at the end of our live. It always stresses me out every time. Okay guys, here we go. I've just added a little bit more on my brush. It felt like it was drying out. And here we go. Now I do have this area here that I need to probably make sure is taped off also, because it joins the bottle there and I don't want my pink going over onto the grey, so just notice that. Tanika says, what size is the board? Well, really the board I'm not sure exactly the size of, but the stencils themselves, they probably have, I don't know where it's gone. They probably have the size on there. 12 by 16 inch is this size of this stencil, which is probably the size of that board. So if you imagine, use a board that's probably longer than that, so you can get a good, if I had a choice, except this is a recycled board, I would have made it a bigger board to get more up here. But I'm just going to tape over here and tape over here. And I am going to need a little bit of covering on this bit. See if I've got enough left on my brush. Oop, nope, it's drying out. Offload. And here we go. Is this the side? Oh, it was the other side that I did the bottle. Doing a little swirling motion, but make sure you've offloaded your brush. And again, practice, practice, practice. Practice on paper, practice on cardboard. So you can, oh, Cheryl said she tried that rubber band trick, but they kept coming off. Maybe you've just got it down too far or something. I only do it if I've got, if I don't have a proper stencil brush that's, a bit too long. So I'm gonna have to do some more paint. Maybe I don't have enough. All right, offloading. Yeah, the damask is really pretty. Okay, hopefully I don't have, yep, I've covered it up. I do like that colour for those beads. And a little bit more here, looks like it's not really filled out quite enough. There's our beads. Pop that up, or although I'll do the tassels next, hey, before I pop it up to see. Karen says she's got her stencil of the month but hasn't got a chance to use it. So happy to see you doing it tonight. Was kind of stumped on what to do with it. Yeah, there's so many different ideas, and I know that there's a few different ideas on the back of the actual stencil itself. Now I'm going to use a kind of a putty colour. It's called putty actually, just a fusion acrylic furniture paint colour. And I'm going to use that same brush that I used the damask on and just see what colour that comes out like. Let me just try that over here on this offload. Because that damask is probably dried up a little bit, I don't mind mixing the colours a bit. And yeah, it's kind of like a, there you go, putty, neutral tone. And we're going to use that for the tassels. So again, just using this paper to put over the beads there. And I'll do that one little section, do this little section, and I'm going to have to press really hard. I feel like I didn't offload that enough. Oh, I might be getting bleeding. Oh, the tassels are only just going to reach, guys. Oh, I didn't do that very well. Oh dear. Well, we could just finish the tassels short, couldn't we? I'm trying my very best, and sorry if you can't see this because my hand's in the way, but this is a really tricky angle because of the frame being sort of a 3D type of frame. I'm kind of just pouncing and smushing at the moment to get as much as I can. Actually, because the stencil doesn't quite reach the end of the board, and because I'm pouncing, it gives it a sort of a tassel-y look in the details of it. All right, our bottle is finished. So here's the reveal. There we go. So I did notice there's one little line right here in the middle that I kind of used in the tassel colour, but it should be the grey colour. So I can just kind of go over that with my grey, but I put it in the water right now, so I'll do that later and just go over that with that. See the very bottom of the tassels, it was so tricky to get those ends that they kind of finished a bit early, but they look like they're frayed like tassels sort of do, so I'm not too worried about that. Isn't that great? So there's our bottle, and now to do our, I've got to scroll down to see the latest comments on here. Someone else said Cheryl got her Stencil of the Month Club stencils on Saturday. Woohoo! That's amazing. Yeah, these, and you know, if you've got some of the other Essential stencils with the floral designs, floral arrangements, there's so much you can do with a vase like this. Even the bucket is use some of the other stencils that you can get in the essentialstencil.com site, you know. There's so many there you could use, and you can use my code there as well to get 10% off or get $5 off your first month of the Stencil of the Month Club. You'll get this design plus however many months you can do, the 1 month, 3 months or 6 months, and every month you'll be getting a new set of stencils. It's not just one stencil, guys. It's such great value when you think about it, seriously. Okay, now what flowers to use. I do love the cotton stems, but I think I'm going to try the lavender today. I didn't get my purple out. What was I thinking? I might have to go for a little wander and get my purple. Is my lavender going to fit in there? That's probably right. Okay, so we've got, see this stalk here is quite long. We've got that going down to the bottom of the jar. So you're just going to make sure that your flower is coming out of the neck of the jar. Because the jar is see-through, we will be able to do sort of, I might do like a browny, greeny stem there. Just have to go for a wander. Sorry guys, hope I can reach. Jumping over cables and things here to get my purpley colour that I need for lavender. Fusion does have a colour called Divine Lavender, and do I have it? Yes, I do. Lavender, what else do I need? Sort of like a chocolate colour. I did get that. I do have the chocolate colour on the table right here. There we go. So that I could sort of do that brownie colour for the stem. Okay, you still with me? Thank you. Good looking bottle, it says. All right. Yes, I could. Julie says you could just use a detail brush to go over that little grey spot. Absolutely, you could do that. Okay, I'm going to start with the stem, using a bit of this chocolate colour, brown. and I'm going to offload on my paper once again. I've actually used that same brush and mixed it with that damask, so look at that colour. It's kind of purpley brown for the stem, but the more I kind of brush it out, the more brown it will be. Or I could just get a new brush quite easily. I just like playing with the colours and mixing them up a bit. Can you see that one there? So, makes me feel like an artist, even though I'm not. All right, so we're going to go here, but we don't want to paint over the beads. So see that, you can see the bead through the stem line that we're going to be painting. And I don't want to paint the bead. So I'm going to place this right here so that I can remind myself, and I'm going to want the stem coming out of the bottle right near the end. And I'll just place that right there so that I don't cover up the bead, because the bead's on the outside of the bottle. Make sense? Okay, just going to go really faintly. And pressing it down, because I've got that, the end of the frame right here, it's sticking up, so my stencil is hitting the end. So I've got to push with my fingers right down on the end. This is my brownish colour that I've mixed. Okay, so we've got the stem so far, and you can shorten or lengthen your stems. I could just go to here and have a shorter stem, so no matter what lavender you use, you can always change that up a little bit. All right, just blocking off those beads again so I don't paint over the beads with my brown colour, and just going to the very end where the lavender comes out. Now, if you join the Stencil of the Month Club, of course you get to be in the Stencil of the Month Club Facebook group, where, oh my goodness, you guys, there is so much talent in that group. It's incredible. I see things being shared, their posts being shared, there are people doing their, and the other thing I could do, sorry, I thought I'd mention this too, is I could have painted the beads after I painted the stems in there too, but I'm just doing it this way. All right, so there are lots of people sharing their posts and pictures and ideas, and it's such a great place for inspiration. So if you are in the Stencil of the Month Club, don't forget to be a part of the group, join into the chats on there, on the Facebook group, and share your pictures. And it doesn't matter, share if you're a newbie to stenciling, and you've seen me, if you've seen my lives for any length of time, I'm just going to redo my rubber band because it was sliding down, just like someone else had mentioned. If you've seen any of my lives, you know that I make mistakes, guys. So it's okay to make mistakes. And it's okay to post about them and say, look, I had trouble doing this. So do that in the Stencil of the Month Club if you're in there, guys. And we'd love to help you, give you tips. But again, there are some really good ideas from people in there. All right, I'm covering over those beads again so I don't get that. And I'm going to have this piece of lavender coming out this way. I think we'll do 3 pieces of lavender and then some greenery around it. So there's that end. Now going over this way. And there we go. So there's that stem. Now I just have to remember which ones I use. Obviously they're still drying, so we've got that, and let's do another one. And this one's got a little bit of greenery, a little leaf on the base of it too, so could do that and go up to that in the brown. Let's poke it out a bit from the center, because this one's going this way, so that center one should be okay to come straight up there. And I might just start it right above the beads, because that makes sense to me. Okay, I've still got paint on my brush from the other one. I'm just going to paint this, even the leaves, brown. I can go over those with the green later on with a fine brush. So a lot of things you can add details with your fine brushes. Those of you who are artists, guys, I'm not an artist, so you could probably go to town with all the fun things that you could do. Okay, Kip says, I used a very white background as a reserve a reverse canvas and it looks too white. Can the background be, oh, I missed, now it's gone. Sorry, the comment went away. You can paint those backgrounds on the reverse canvases any colour you like, if that's what the question was asking. Yeah, some comments about customer service from Essential Stencil is the best, absolutely. And if you do have any questions about your subscriptions for the Stencil of the Month Club, you can always email them. The email links are all in there in the Stencil of the Month Club. They have emailed you probably about your orders, so it's there as well. All right, going with some Divine Lavender. Look at this gorgeous colour for our lavender. And let's go with that first one that I had on here. So I'm lining up my stem again so I can now do my purple. Purple on here. Oh, I'm running out of brushes. Okay, I've still got a little one here. Let's go with this guy. And again, we are offloading the brush right here. That's the dried lavender colour there. So yeah, it does look a little bit like, of course it looks like lavender. They've made it to look like lavender. All right, here we go. Yeah, Essential Stencil reminds us that it's 7 days left to get this actual set for May that was designed by Sarah. Again, I've got to push this really hard at the end here because of the frame that's in the way. So if you do have a flat surface, it'd be so much easier. But I do love to recycle and upcycle, so there you go. How's that? That was pretty quick to do. So next we'll do this one that's going out to the side, lining up again, right there where I'd lined up the stem. And here we go with the lavender on that one. Still got plenty of paint on my brush. So less is more. You can always add more on, but if you just kind of swirl it and smoosh it like that, it works perfectly for that. Yep, perfect. Okay, and then this one. Look, guys, it's just fitting in my frame. I was a little worried that this lavender would kind of come off, but because of the positioning of the lavender being able to sort of go at that angle, oops. Going to offload that again on the paper. And here we go for the center lavender right there at the end. I wonder if there's anyone out there stenciling with me right now. Do you actually stencil along when you watch these lives? I'd love to know. If you're stenciling now or if you're crafting now, if you're in your craft room and you're crafting, let me know crafting or let me know stenciling. Let's see if there's some people doing that at the same time. I feel like I've got a little gap here, so I'm just trying to fill that gap up. You can get that with a little brush at the end too. How cool is that? That's looking great. I'm doing this upside down, remember? So there you go. Wow, there's the lavender poking out of the top there. Then we can add a little bit of greenery around the sides here. For that, let me just grab my green once again. Paint is over on the other side of the room. I'm back finding like a forest tree green. Can I find something like that? Pressed fern, that's a beautiful colour. So a dark green to kind of do some leaves. Now the leaves that we've got that came in the set are where'd they go? Boxwood leaves, here we are. So these are the gorgeous leaves we've got on the boxwood sheet. So this all comes 3 different, you've got the bottle and the bucket. Let me go through those again. We've got the bottle and the bucket. Gorgeous bucket you can create in any colour you like. We've got the lavender and the cotton stems. I can't wait to do some of those cotton stems. And then we've got these boxwood greens, and do you know what this is? Someone else can tell me that. It looks like a little bit of eucalyptus leaves here. Let's have a play with that. Right now, just coming out of there. Oh gosh, how am I going to fit that? What I should have done was done these first. You know, maybe that's just perfect, just like it is. I think I'm going to leave it, guys. I think I'm going to leave that there. Let's see. If I tried to stencil while watching, I'd never learn anything. Oh, that's a point, Joyce Ann. She's got a point. Okay, so this one's the Stencil of the Month Club for May. Who else thinks I should just leave it? I don't know. It's looking good right now. I don't want to wreck it if I put extra. Yeah, someone else said leave it as is. I think if I try and fit the leaves in there, the green is going to be on top, which if you're adding greenery, I think I would have preferred if the greenery was underneath the lavender. So I would have done that as the first layer. See how these leaves are sort of underneath those two lavender pieces there? I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, that's that one. So now you've got some ideas hopefully for that bottle. Isn't it just beautiful? I really, really love it. Let me just recap you while I'm trying to, here, I'll pop you down so you can see that. And now my job is to find some stencil winners for the live today. Don't forget to pop your brushes in the water when you're finished. Reminding myself here. And let's pop my glasses on so I can see some comments. And I would love to see you in the Stencil of the Month Club, guys, because it's a lot of fun. You see, get a lot of inspiration there. Here's the one we did today. Remember, you've got 7 days left to do the May stencil, to order that. And use my code, IRestoreStuff, to get $5 off your first month. I'm just scrolling through comments here. Gosh, you're too fast, you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about this. I just can't concentrate if I'm doing two things at once. I'm trying to write down names and look at comments at the same time and answer questions. Jimmy got it last week. Can't wait to do this stencil. Got it last week. Good on you, Jimmy. That is awesome. Janice says, I love the Stencil of the Month Club. She's in there too. Yay. Thank you, Tracy. All right. Oh, do we nearly have our last winner? I need someone else doing this for me. It's hard. Okay, Marty's asking, what's the monthly cost for 6 months? Well, it depends what country you're from. You can always go to Stencil of the Month Club. Go to the link and all the different deals are all there. It tells you exactly what you get in the Stencil of the Month Club. It tells you exactly what you get in the club for each of the packages. So 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. The link is right there for you to have a look at that. And don't forget that it will show you if you would like, it'll ask you, would you like the add-on? And that add-on this month is, right here, is this beautiful wreath that's got the words family, gather and home. Sorry, it's backwards, but that's just Facebook right now. And you can create those wreaths with the addition of some of these boxwood or floral things as well. You can place those around your wreath and create some extra specialness. Don't forget, we've also got in the Essential Stencil website, you've got all your other great fonts. There's some new really thin fonts come out that look a bit like Ray Dunn style and those kind of things. So get your 10% off at the essentialstencil.com link using my code IRestoreStuff. If you opt for the 6 month at the Stencil of the Month Club, you get an Essential Stencil Tote Bag, which is really huge. It's really wide on the ends. It fits a lot of stencils, the large ones in there and the smaller ones in the little pocket there. And yeah, awesome different ideas. Don't forget all of your little mini tags. They're all on the Essential Stencil site as well. So everybody's enjoying. Yeah, those who are in the Stencil of the Month Club, it is amazing value, isn't it? I know. Amazing. All right, our winners for today are Elise Ashcroft, or Ashcraft, if you're still there. Elise or Elise Ashcraft. You're our first winner today. I'm in the day in Australia, so I'm like, it's tonight your time. And Tammy M. Marshall, you're our next winner, second winner. And our third winner is Jimmy Right Edge. Jimmy Right Edge, you're our third winner tonight. So I hope you all love your stencils. I'm going to go through after this live and have a little look and read at some of your comments. If you have any other questions, I'll try and get those onto you, onto the chat as well. But there's our winners. If those winners could please email support@essentialstencil.com if you're a winner tonight. Yes, congratulations, winners. If you're a winner tonight, email that email address that we have in the links up in the description of the live, and they will get you your prize. And I would love to see you in the Stencil a Month Club, guys. I'll see you next week with another live. Here's just a reminder of what we did. If you missed any of that and you've just joined here, watch the replay, catch the replay, and here's what we did. Gorgeous. Just one of the stencils from the Stencil of the Month Club for May. 7 days left to join and get this stencil. So there you go. See you next week. Bye.